This is Jasper Hill Riesling, and it's made by Ron and Elva Laughton in Heathcote, Victoria, Australia. And I was lucky enough to visit there very recently, and it's one of those places where you get to and it all really makes sense when Ron Laughton starts explaining things. He went there in 1980 and as a food scientist and soil geologist, and literally as he was driving around the sort of gold mining area of Heathcote, he found some soil that had a lot of grass growing on it, literally by the side of the road, and he started wondering why on earth that's there. And he started explaining to me how he found that. It's a very much a seam of iron-rich Cambrian soil, which has a great minerality, great draining properties, and he thought if I could have a vineyard, which was his dream anyway, on these soils, it would be absolutely wonderful. He then subsequently found Heathcote and Jasper Hill vineyards. Started with 2 vineyards, Georgia's and Emily's Paddock, and are still there today. And he makes wines in a very much non-interventionalist, so he doesn't want to put any chemicals in the soil. He firmly believes in terroir, and he finds that if you put anything chemically in the soil, it will transfer to the taste eventually in the wine. So he simply doesn't really. He also believes that if there are chemicals present, you're probably going to need another chemical to counteract that, so it's best not to start off with anything at all. So he does that. He does organic, biodynamic growing, dry grown as well, so no irrigation whatsoever. And sometimes with this Riesling, I think 2 or 3 years ago, we didn't even have a vintage because he said there's not enough to go around. It's as simple as that. But what you do get is very low yielding grapes, about 20 hectolitres per hectare, and they're very, very complex wines indeed. There's only 3 hectares of Riesling, and it was planted in 1984. And you can see there's huge depth, and the main thing on the nose, you get some very lime leaf, a bit of kerosene there too, but it's quite fresh. There's great acidity and minerality, and that's what you get from that soil really. What you'd have that with is probably anything quite spicy dishes, Asiatic dishes, or you can even have it as as an aperitif really. Riesling is one of Jancis Robinson's favourite grapes, so it feels as if it should be age-worthy as well, and it certainly will do, and it will gain in colour and complexity if you want to. But I love it right now, it's complex enough right now, and it's a fabulous wine.